we will be having a live webinar on the SAP funds and grants management. So here is what we will cover, from introductions and SAP background to an in-depth look at funds and grants management. We will also go over the course details, job perspectives, and how ZaranTech can support your learning journey. So let's move on to the SAP, about SAP. So SAP means systems, applications, and products, which is a German multinational software company, and it is known for creating enterprise software used across industries for managing business operations, including finance, logistics, manufacturing, human resources, consulting, and many other business operational tasks. So these timeline, or this is the history of SAP, which we can see. SAP comes in 1972, and we are in 2025 now. So this timeline shows SAP's evolution from its founding in 1972, its present day focus on cloud-based and integrated solutions. As you can see, SAP has constantly evolved with business needs. In 1972, it has been founded by 5 former IBM employees in Germany. And in 1979, SAP releases its first ERP system for financial accounting. And in 1982, the company also expands in US, and they have opened their office in Pennsylvania. And in 1986, the company goes public with an initial public offering on the different stock exchanges market. And in 1992, SAP introduces the first client or server architecture for the R3 system. And in 1999, company launches MySAP.com, an e-business platform, which is designed to integrate different business processes. And in 2010, the company acquires Sybase, which is a database and mobile software company. And in 2022, SAP announces a restructuring plan with a more focused on digital solutions, cloud-based offerings, and streamlining its workforce. And in 2022, these solutions has been improved, and the situation handling and added settlement management and central finance scenarios. So basically the finance management, funds management, and grants management, which has been improved over the years. So from the job perspectives, yes, SAP funds and grants management has a strong demand in the public and not-for-profit sectors. It enables effective budget management, regulatory compliances, and a streamlined grant administration. With digital transformation and compliance needs growing, expertise in these modules is increasingly valuable as day by day. If we talk about these latest salary trends, so the average per year salary, which is around $100,000 to $150,000 per year for the SAP funds and grants management professionals. So for the SAP funds and grants management professionals, there could be different job titles like funds management specialist, grant management consultant, S4HANA funds and grants management expert, FM and GM solution architect, public sector consultant, financial consultant. And there are different industries who have been using the SAP funds and grants management. That's why it is pretty much growing into the different industries. And yes, public sector, all government levels, higher education and research institutions, healthcare and non-profit organizations, philanthropic foundations, utilities and energy sectors, large enterprises with major grant or funds management needs, where they need to manage the large funds. So these are the industries, these are the job titles, latest salary trends. You can see from the job perspectives into the SAP funds and grants management. So consultants who are specializing in funds and grants management are seeing competitive salaries, especially with SAP S4HANA skills. So this slide shows how the market values this expertise and how the salary trends has been increasing at the different levels. So these are the prominent sectors who have been using the SAP technology in their business operations, and these sectors are into different finance and banking, manufacturing, retail and consumer goods, public sector and government, transportation sector, logistics, healthcare and pharmaceuticals, education and research, media and entertainment. So these are different sectors who have been using the SAP technology to manage their business in an effective way. So these are the course objectives. Our training aims to give you a deep knowledge of core SAP funds management and grants management functionalities, where you will learn fund and grant setup, budgeting, procurement modules, with integration of finance and practical skills to manage the compliances, reporting, and audit for funds and grants management. So these are the course objectives which where we will be helping you to learn all these skills, and you will be able to manage the business processes. So these are the prerequisites required for the SAP funds management and grants management certifications. So to get the most from this course, you should have a basic understanding of accounting and familiarity with SAP. Also, if you have experience in budgeting, fund allocation, and grants administration, apart from it, if you have worked with fund allocation or grant reporting, so you will find it more relatable and how to manage the grants process from starting to end, and into the grants management process, how we need to manage the funds allocation. And at the end, one of the most important, you should have a good internet connection for all the practical exercises. Who should take up this course? This course is ideal for finance and branch management professionals, IT consultants, business analysts and project managers, higher education institutions who are working into their administrators, their finance department, and other anyone responsible for managing, tracking, or reporting on funds and grants. So, what are the benefits of this training? So, by the end of this course, you will become a master into the SAP funds and grants management for budgeting, compliances, and reporting, and you will gain hands-on experience for real-time financial monitoring and control, boost your career in demand SAP, FM and GM expertise and certification, improve transparency, and it will help in audits with independent auditors, statutory auditors, and other auditors. So it will also help in decision making with all the financial data analysis, and which you can share with the senior leadership for the decision. So what is SAP funds management? SAP funds management helps organizations to manage their budgets by ensuring spending stays within the approved limits. It is essential for maintaining financial control, especially in public institutions. So this SAP funds management is basically designed for public sector organizations and other companies who have been working with different grantees or grantors to manage the funds. And also, it helps to ensure all the expenditures are aligned as per the approved budget at the initial stage. So, which is very crucial for maintaining the financial discipline and helps in the auditing processes. So, how SAP funds management integrates with SAP grants management? So, SAP funds management and grants management are integrated modules, so allowing seamless budgeting and reporting for projects and grants with real-time financial visibility. So grants management is focused on the left-hand side, you can see SAP grants management. So which is more focused on ensuring the compliances and expenditure tracking with respect to the approved budget in the grant. And on the right-hand side, you can see SAP funds management is focused on budget control and real-time monitoring of all the finances of the project. So these are the four modules, which is very much important to connect all the finance and controlling to provide a complete financial picture. So start with financial accounting. It helps to manage all the general ledgers and ensures transaction accuracy. And the next one is controlling. We need to control all the track costs and revenues for internal management, all the revenues which we are getting from external businesses and external fundraisings. And the commitment management, we need to ensure planned expenditures are accounted with respect to the approved budgets. And the last one is reconciliation and reporting. So reconciliation is very much important on the monthly basis so that we have a complete track record of all the financials, all the funds in an accurate manner. And it helps to prepare all the financial reports which we can report to the grantors and grantees. So what are the key benefits of integrating SAP funds management, grants management, and finances and controlling? The integration of SAP funds management, grants management, and financial and controlling brings financial control, compliance, and audit readiness.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Real-time financials and seamless funds allocation. It also enables better planning and compliances, monitoring, and it also helps organizations to maintain their business processes in an effective and efficient way. So before moving on to the SAP grants management, do you have any queries or any questions before moving on to the SAP grants management? Any questions as of now?
Hey, Jolly, Ajay here. What's the landscape that we are going to use for practicals?
Sorry?
So what's the SAP system landscape? The versions, is it an S4? Is it an ECC? Where we will be doing
that will
the
be
exercise?
S4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other participants?
Yeah, you said grants management and funds management are different, and there is a commitment management, right? So does commitment management takes care of grants, the funds and the grants, or the grant management portion?
Yes. So commitment management is nothing, but it's a grants management. So there are two things. One is grantor and the second one is grantee. So grantor is the organization who gives the fund, and grantee is the organization who is receiving the funds. So in that case, grantee will be the organization who will manage the commitments or the grants which they are getting from the grantors. So the commitment management is also the grants management.
But it's also funds management also has commitment management. Yeah, separate. Is it? Yeah. And
any other queries?
In grants, so funds management is an account assignment item, right? So is that the same with the grants management?
No, actually both are different. The funds management is different and grants management is different. Funds management, you can say funds management is part of the grants management, but grants management is not part of the funds management. So grants management is broad, which starts from the initial application to the closure of the grant. But the funds management is more focused on financials, how they are managing the financials.
Agree. My question was, while recording a transaction as an account assignment object, can we use grants management, or it's usually a fund, right?
Yes, if this is a financial assignment, so yes, funds management.
Okay, thanks.
Any other queries? Okay, so if there is no any further queries, let's move on to the SAP grants management. So SAP grants management helps in to manage the entire grants life.
Okay, two aspects. Grants management.
Yeah.
Grants management is, there are many type of grants, not one type. There are many type of grants in public sector.
Yeah.
So that managing depending upon yearly, there are many areas. That's a different discussion. So that's how they manage. That's how they ask for the CFO of each constituents. That's one. Then the funds management, when the funds is allocated from echelon 1 to echelon 2, even the echelon 2, there are many criteria, methods are available. So there's a two aspects of it.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. So SAP grants management helps in to manage the entire grants life cycle from application to closure. And it enables not-for-profit organizations, government agencies, and educational institutions, and other philanthropic foundations like Ford Foundations, Cognizant Foundation, and many other philanthropic foundations who have been working into this sector. And it ensures compliance with the sponsor rules and tracks funds accurately. So this is the grants life cycle, which starts from pre-award, award, and post-awards. So these are very basic pre-award, award, and post-awards. But yes, in the pre-award, it is into the application process where grantor organizations need to publish an RFP, request for proposal, and there are many other grantee organizations who apply for the request for proposals for the grants and submit their proposals, technical proposal and financial proposal. So this is all happens in the pre-award stage. And the grantor organizations receive different proposals from different grantee organizations and compile and select the organizations which are good as per the RFP and as per the grantor requirements. And then they shortlist some of the organizations who will be receiving the funds, and they will work as a grantee. So move on to the award process. The grantee organization receives funds from the grantor, receives funds, or you can say receives awards from the grant, and work with different awardees on a final agreement and awards fund. And after receiving the funds, after signing the agreement between the organization, then it starts with the post-award process. So then grantee organization starts implementing the projects on the field. Maybe there could be different projects on the basis of health projects, education projects, and different environment projects. So there could be different types of projects grantee organization needs to implement or manage those. And after that, implementing the programs, the grantee organization needs to report their programmatic and financial aspects to the grantor organization, and at the end they close out the grant with all the supporting documents, what they have done with the grant and how they have utilized the grant amount which they received from the grantor organizations. So this is the complete process, like pre-award stage, award stage, and post-award stage. So these are the key aspects and features of grants management in SAP. So with the help of SAP application, you can create or manage all the grantor and grantees, manage all the proposals, budgets management. You can create and manage all the budgets, awards management, reporting and analytics, compliances and auditing, workflow and collaboration, documents management, which includes all the reports, agreements, MOUs, correspondence, which you are communicating with different grantors or grantee organizations, integration of different modules, security and access control, and grant performance evaluation. So these are the SAP grants management functionality. So here, master data management for sponsors, grants and sponsored programs. So recording of all the budgets, components, which includes different budget line items and funding receipt from different grants, including internal funds. And there could be different budget line items like human resource cost, travel cost, procurement cost, leasing, and other indirect cost, and eligible and ineligible cost, and the timelines and payment schedules for the sponsors and grantee organizations, billing to the sponsors, and reporting all the grant related costings and financials. So these are all the functionalities which you can manage with help of SAP grants management. So these are the modules which we will be covering into the SAP funds and grants management course. So our module 1 will be focused on more onto SAP funds and grants management, and module 2 will be focused on funds management configuration and allocation, creating the budgets. And in module 3 we will focus on grant master data setup with help of agreed MOUs or agreements which we have signed between the grantor and grantee organizations. And module 4 will be budgeting and availability control of the organizations. And module 5 will be focused on grant lifecycle management. Module 6 on funds commitment and consumption, how the grantee organizations are consuming the funds for which program activities, and what amount of approved budget have been allocated for each activities. In module 7, integration with controlling and reporting. Module 8 will be focused on case studies and real scenarios which we will be receiving from the grantee organizations. So module 9 will be more focused on interview preparation and best practices. So these are all the modules which we will be covering in the SAP funds and grants management certification course. If you have any queries as of now, please ask. I would be happy to answer.
There is a module 3 grants master data. What about the funds master data?
So the funds is part of the grant. So when we will be setting the grant master data setup, so in that grant master data setup, we will be setting all the details and all these sponsor creation or the constituent creation, and the what amount of funds we have been allocating to that particular grantee organization that we need to set up, and what will be the project duration that we need to set up.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
It could be 1 year or 3 year duration. And after that, we will be creating the budgets, the budget line items, and which all budget line items are there, the funds which you were mentioning, all the funds which the amount of funds which will be allocating to each different grantee organizations. So how much funds will be allocating to them and on which budget line items will be allocated to them. So that kind of setup we will be doing here in the grant master data setup and funds master data. So was my answer clear, your doubt?
Yeah. So what you're saying is grants master data includes funds master data, is it?
Yes. So
Yeah.
we will be setting the funds when we will be setting the grant setup. Yeah.
Okay. Because these terms are used on top, you said funds and grants management, and then sometimes the grants master data is used. So it's kind of maybe trying to make sense of that. Okay, and as long as funds are included in grants, that makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, Jyodeep, Ajay here. I guess it's a little confusing to me in the sense that are we going to cover funds management only with the reference to grants management? Because the way I see is they are two independent modules. Funds management could be much broader as well. That could give someone who is managing all other business processes that could be connected to funds management and have the budget and all the business transactions that are subject to the control as per the budget specifications could be managed. So from the outline of the course, I'm not sure if we are going to do in-depth funds management or only a sub-scope that's relevant for grants management. Could you confirm on that?
Yeah. So we will be covering two separate modules, broadly two separate modules. One is SAP Funds Management and second one SAP Grants Management. So initially we will explaining all the SAP Funds Management processes and everything. After that, we will be come on to the Grants Management. So we will be covering both the aspects in a separately.
Okay, thanks for that. And the follow-up question is then within the grants management, are we going to run through specific scenarios for grantee than the grantor?
Yes.
Meaning that let me see what I understood so far is. So if we have, I'm not sure how the course outline is going to be designed. If it is a standard SAP material, I see them as two different courses that's available on the Google, on the training materials. But you seem to have combined both into one course, which is actually good for me, for other students as well. But are we going to cover both the scenarios? Meaning for one grantee is where, let's say IRIDA, for instance, Indian Research and Renewable Energy, they only get the funds from the Indian government and distribute funds to recipients or grants to recipients, right? For them, it's only grantee management is relevant.
Yeah.
But for states, those gives like loans and grants to water sustainment projects and things like that. For them, they are grantors. So are we going to run similar scenarios both in this course?
Yes. So in this course, we will cover both the scenarios from the grantor perspectives and from the grantee perspectives. So we will cover both the scenarios. Yes. So we have designed lab activities where you will get a practical exposure during the course.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. One last thing, if I'm not hijacking time for others. On the billing side, right? Either grantee or grants, are we going to use the grant specific billing or are we going to end up using sales and distribution billing, using the sales document and material? Because that's the key thing for me to make a decision whether to join the course or continue or not.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So from the trainer perspective, yes, as a trainer, I will try to cover both the perspectives. One from the sales perspective into the funds management, and from the grants perspective into the grants management processes.
Okay. Do you have any like even an overview of slide in the coming slides later in the next hour or so? Anything on the billing?
No, so that will be on the ZaranTech services, what services providing. But yes, for to know the more details of the course and the course curriculum, you can see on the website, or maybe we can share with you. The ZaranTech support team will share with you.
Yeah, that's fine. After the demo, I can follow it up with you. That's okay. I just wanted to know if we have something on it. Thanks. Yeah.
So any others?
So, what are the two aspects of funds management billing you said?
So for the funds management, we will try to cover the two aspects from the sales point of view, like a business, the consulting or the private limited companies are doing from the sales perspective. And the second one is from the grants perspectives. So we
What
will
is
cover
grants
both the
perspective?
aspects. Yes, we will cover both the aspects.
What do you mean by grants perspective?
Grants perspective, which is more focused for the social development sector grants. So like
I don't know if that's correct. Grants are many type of grants that will be that will be executed depending upon type of grant. Then execution, it has the limitations, especially from the public sector perspective. That's the only way they can use. But funds management is an allocation from these CFOs. Many type of allocation occurs. That's a different methodology. That's I told you a while ago. But the one I was asking from sales order perspective, the reimbursable order, that will a lot of other inputs in there. And another execution is a PO perspective from the front side of it. There's a line item level, you can see that. So that's what I was asking. Grants, not on the line item level. Grants management is above that happens yearly type of grants, many type of grants, and that's the only way that particular grant is executed for that purpose only. That's the government's order.
yes, you are right. So grant is particularly execute for the particular program, like education program, health program. But if you are talking about the PO, purchase order, so that is more focused on from the sales perspective.
I don't know. Maybe we are in a two different understanding, I think. This purchase order execution from grantor to the executor, that's a purchase order execution to pay the supplier or service, etc.
Yes.
But what is a sales order perspective? Can you explain me?
So from the sales order perspective, you are selling your services. Okay. From the purchase order perspective, you are purchasing their services. So these are two different perspectives. Yes.
Okay. I don't think I'm understanding. Maybe I don't have a basic knowledge. I think.
Yeah, guys, I think I could throw some insight. I guess we are missing a little bit here. So from instructor perspective, what I was asking, or what he said is, billing could be done for grants in two ways. One is using SAP standard functionality within the grants management. In the older ECCs, the previous generations of SAP, grants management billing was not very detailed. So people used to have a dummy sales order and the material is to be created. Basically, when a grant is approved, you need to raise an invoice to get the reimbursement. So since there are no purchase orders, just for the grant, you create a sales document, tie them together, then raise an invoice to the sponsor to get the money. That's one way of understanding. But I guess the instructor wrongly associated.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, so I guess the instructor kind of wrong to the funds management. Funds management has nothing to do with the billing. The billing feature is only relevant to the grants management. So the question is whether S4 has sufficient billing functionality, or we still go through the usual DAP and sales module standard billing feature. That was my question, I guess. Yeah, so that seems to be, Jodip. I think we need to be a little bit more clearer on that, what we are going to cover. From the practical perspective, I'm not sure you're going to give us the industrial examples for us to understand and grasp that one. That's what I think need to be explored a little bit more.
Yes, so we will share the course curriculum, like what all you can explore during the course and what you can expect from the course. So we will share the curriculum, an overview of the curriculum, which will be helpful for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we would like to understand the course topics with a breakdown, because just now on the sales perspective, the gentleman who asked, they all pay advance payment, customers, then the reimbursable order goes, there are many inputs on it, the actual, the revenue, blah, 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 everything. And the second one, partial payment, some funds are depending upon the duration on the reimbursable sales order, it will have a WBS input also. So I think it's a big of the concept basic funda is itself is missing. I think maybe I'm drunk. I'm quacking.
Okay, so anyone have any other queries? Okay, so if there is no any queries, let's move on to the ZaranTech services, what ZaranTech offers. So ZaranTech is a UK-based company, and so they are giving certifications courses in the SAP. So also you can visit the YouTube channel of ZaranTech and know more about the courses which they are offering. So these are all the assessments, lab activities, PowerPoint presentations you will be getting for all the for the SAP course for which you will be enrolling. So we have a learning management system. We will be sharing the access with you. So you will get a 1 year access to all the recorded session videos, lifetime access to all the course curriculum, and you will be getting the 24/7 technical support in case of any queries. So we have a SAP learner community who are who are learning and know more about the SAP certifications and different learnings.